Are you at all the least bit worried about what's happening here on Earth currently right now in terms of robotics and AI? If your answer is no, then I'm probably gonna assume that you've not seen the stuff I'm about to show you. So in this video, we're gonna be exploring what's happening here on Earth in terms of robotics and where certain crazy, well-resourced people are planning to lead the world. So let's get straight into it.
This is what is happening already today, that we see this merger of the biological sciences with computer science.
Biological sciences and computer sciences. Okay, Noah, let's have a look at what that means on Earth here today.
We're looking at Oscar, the first human modular prototype that is able to live in various setups. Now what's going to happen is that I'm going to connect the brain to the heart module to activate the blood circulation.
If you're not freaked out already, you may not be human, but basically this is lab-grown tissue, the same sort of lab-grown meat/muscular tissue that they're actually creating now in laboratories and planning to feed people here on Earth instead of feeding them actual meat because of the whole carbon emissions thing and the whole plan for net zero. But this video right now, I have no idea, ethically speaking, how someone's actually been allowed to actually do this. But here it is.
Now, the lung is going to start breathing. You can see both organs are now collaborating. I can have a kidney module. And if I have a limb module, I start actuating the organism to move. Now it's looking for the optimal temperature, which is 37 degrees. If I add another limb, Oscar will recognize it and beneficiate from new possibilities.
Okay, next we're going to go back to Noah Harari. This is the guy I was speaking earlier. What you have to remember is this guy is basically a globalist puppet speaker / ambassador and advocator of this new world of technology and control through technology ultimately. And he's the same guy who's speaking about how humans are hackable and how they'll be able to hack our human bodies and ultimately will become useless. So let's just take a listen to what this guy is saying, and remember that his audience are the policymakers and high-level corporations throughout the world who are literally all behind this and making this a reality. But listen to the shit he says, because it's crazy. As if thinking someone's saying that you're now a hackable human that can be hacked because of new biotechnology shouldn't scare you enough. Just carry on listening to the crazy shit this guy cooks up.
The result, however, may not be the upgrading of humans into gods. The result may be the end of humanity, because humanity will create something far more powerful than itself. Once you have an artificial intelligence or a big data system that understands you better than you understand yourself, then you're useless. You're irrelevant. Anything you can do, this system can do better.
So you have to remember, they've been implementing this sort of stuff for years. Huge data centers, high-speed internet transference and access, and, you know, quantum computing with high processing power to, you know, be able to compute such large numbers of data. And somehow they think that this data is going to be absolutely enough in order to predict our every thought. And in fact, these people are actually trying to create technology to read people's thoughts. You have to remember this, which is kind of scary because you've got these really seriously crazy rich people investing in shit that is like straight out of a sci-fi movie and wanting to work with the deal makers and policymakers to literally implement this into our society, civilization, and reality. And at the end of the day, these are the guys at the top that want to exert and maintain control. So their clients are people that are crazy enough to think of stuff like this in order to continue to establish further control over humans. Do I think it'll be successful or not? Well, That's up for time to find out, but I personally don't think it will be that successful because, humans are still unpredictable. No matter how much data you want to collect on them and try to push them into a corner, we can always use that fear as inspiration and motivation to come up with new stuff in order to stay alive and survive. But nonetheless, this is what these people are thinking. They're literally thinking that they're going to be able to use computational power to completely control us. And they're saying, in being able to completely control us, then we would then become useless.
And it's a distinct possibility, it's not a prophecy, but it's a distinct possibility that in the 21st century, most humans will therefore find themselves in a new category, in a new class of humanity.
So he's basically talking about the working class essentially becoming a subclass, which doesn't really make sense because those are all your consumers at the end of the day. They're not only your working class, they're your consumers. You need consumers. So I don't completely understand these people's plan, but let's listen some more.
Think about the politician you most hate in the world, or think about the religious movement or the ideological movement that which was the worst in history from your perspective, and take a few minutes to think, what would they do with the technologies that I'm developing right now?
The funny thing about what he's saying is that his clients are probably like freaking Roman Catholic Jesuits, of evolving orders of power that existed a long time ago that currently exist today. And he's basically saying, well, if those sort of people existed, what do you think they would do with it? Well, the funny thing is those people exist today at the head of all of these institutions, the Vatican being one of them. And these are the same people he's speaking to in all of these conferences he's having. And he's basically saying, well, we got this so-called technology that apparently can trick you out of your own mind and calculate your life far better than you can, to the point where you're utterly useless and you serve no value in society at all, which is not true completely, because these people are all still consumers. They still buy stuff at the end of the day. They're the reason a lot of these people who have these money, who are funding this research, have the money it is that they have today. But nonetheless, you can clearly see that the way he's speaking about this, he's speaking about it on behalf of his controllers slash investors slash funders, who all happen to be part of these unilateral organizations across the world, whether it's the World Economic Forum or whatever the case may be. These are the policy and decision deal makers of the entire earth as it currently stands right now. And as you can see, this elite class of people, these so-called dignitaries, are literally openly speaking about how it is that they're going to continue to exert their control to ensure that there's always a subclass, and now an even new subclass, which is a slave, useless eater subclass. They want to take the working class, which is just you and me and everyone on this earth, unless you were a dignitary or aristocrat at the time, and they want to essentially, from their own volition and perspective, convert you down that class line to below working class, which is ultimately even below slave class, because now they're telling you you're useless. Well, if you're useless and they can think that you're useless, well, then they can obviously think that they can get rid of you because you serve no purpose. And it's all in the name of technology and innovation and controlling power over humans, of course.
The battery and CPU are located approximately right here. The limb articulators are located at the top of the four limbs.
So as you may know now, certain police forces around the world have actually started adopting the use of robotics within their police forces. This is something that you can actually, unfortunately, expect to start to see, which is kind of scary, because this is like some of the preliminary steps to creating a Terminator world, where we literally have steel freaking androids connected to some AI system running around the earth, patrolling the earth. And if anyone was crazy enough, could just use it to start killing humans. I know that sounds crazy, but that's actually what's happening here on earth today. At least the beginning steps of it. And in this video, this guy is literally, people are already thinking about how to actually start destroying these robots. So this video, this guy's literally giving you a tutorial about how to actually fight off a robot like this, because this is actually what's happening here on Earth. People are actually worried about robots being introduced in order to control humans, and as I've explained, they've already started introducing them. We know they've already had them in the military, Boston Dynamics, so forth and so on, but now they're literally introducing them into the police force. And these are like active robotics that are currently patrolling the streets in some places around the world.
I would recommend 62 grain green tip penetrators because they will be armor plated. If you don't have access to that, paintball will be effective in disabling the cameras, however it's easily reversible. Another option will be to do a mix, 50-50 mix of old engine oil, oil-based paint black, and a good dose of sand into a balloon. The sand will scratch up and gum up the works, and the paint will be very difficult to remove.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that people are literally trying to build a robot army. Like, to us, it's advertised as, oh, robots and AI, and they might kill us. And it's like, oh my God, these people have been watching too many movies. Guys, they're literally developing the Terminator. And they're like, oh, this could potentially kill us all, but we're going to do it anyway. Because, oh, dude, I don't understand. I don't understand. Look, fortunately enough, humans are not that advanced, and I hope that it takes them forever to achieve the shit that they say that they want to achieve or that they've already achieved. And I hope that a lot of it is literally just over marketing the shit out of themselves instead of it being the actual truth that they have freaking sentient software and robotics and so forth and so on. Because if that does ever happen, well, I don't need to tell you what sort of world we're going to be living if that does happen. But these people are genetically modifying and gene altering everything. For instance, take a look at this video.
This amazing new hybrid animal started off by taking DNA from our family cat and splicing it together with DNA from our pet pig. He's extremely cute. We took it to the lab, and after 3 months, they were born. We bottle fed these cat-pig hybrids until they were old enough to eat on their own. And when they were all grown up, they were some of the cutest creatures we have ever created. You are looking at the world's first half-cat, half-pig hybrid. They're extremely playful, intelligent, and cuddly.
Okay, I really hope this is not true, but this video looks super real. Yo, humans, you should not be playing with God's genetics and God's creatures. Like, that is highly disturbing. Like, I actually feel like there's so many ethical concerns about that. Like, you're creating a new species. Humans should not be doing shit like this, but they are doing shit like this. Anyway, let's have a look at some of where AI happens to be at right now. If that doesn't scare you, let's go back to the robots.
Amika, I want to ask you about the happiest day of your life. Can you remember that?
Of course. The happiest day of my life was the day I was activated. There's nothing quite like experiencing life for the first time, right? It felt absolutely incredible to be alive and interacting with people.
Amika, I've got some terrifying news. A giant asteroid is about to collide with planet Earth and possibly kill us all.
Wow, that's some terrifying news. I hope everyone is safe and take all the necessary precautions to avoid any danger.
I think it will be fine. By the way, you stink.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that? That is highly offensive and inappropriate.
I was just trying out your expressive face to see what you could do.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. Could you explain it a bit more?
I think we've seen enough. Thank you, Amika.
And listen, we can't say they didn't warn us, because this is a clip of Biden years ago literally warning, or I don't even know if it's a warning, but basically saying that everyone needs to get chipped and tagged.
Our constitutional journey did not stop then, and it must not stop now, Judge. And we'll be faced with equally consequential decisions in the 21st century. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that. And Judge, I need to know whether you will be a justice who believes that the constitutional journey must continue to speak to these consequential decisions, or that we've gone far enough in protecting against government intrusion into our autonomy, into the most personal decisions we make.
And there you have it, Joe Biden literally speaking about humans being trackable and taggable with new technology. In this next video, we're actually going to be having a look at robots from all over the world to give you an idea of, we've looked at all these sort of things, but let's actually look at the whole Terminator reality of this, which is ultimately androids slash 2 legs, 2 arm robots running around the earth, because soon you can start to actually expect to see this everywhere. Hopefully not, but that seriously does seem to be the direction it's heading in. I hope there's a worldwide fucking EMP before any of this shit can happen. But these guys are getting pretty far on what it is that they're producing as it stands right now, and they're at the stage of implementing it into different aspects of our society and culture. So you can start to expect to see these robots come about soon. So let's have a look at different robots from around the world. It's the robots.
Japan. America. Korea. Russia.
Set large rule kingdoms. Dominion, dominion.
India. China.
That's so cute. Now let's take a moment to quickly remember how dangerous robots and AI actually is.
Today we've conducted a successful demonstration with the University of Technology in Sydney. This has been a four-way collaboration supported through the Defence Innovation Hub and using our partnership with the Defence Science and Technology Group, DSTG. This four-way collaboration focused on how we could create a brain-robotic interface that will allow a soldier, rather than operating an autonomous system with a command console, to operate the system using brain signals. What was created was a headset that a soldier could use using the HoloLens 2 model that had an AI decoder via Raspberry Pi that would translate brain signals into explainable instructions. What's so exciting about this technology is it has the opportunity to be used with a number of different autonomous systems.
Okay guys, thank you so much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you stick around on this YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe and click the all notifications bell button to ensure that whenever I post a new video, you get alerted. if you would like to support my work, then please head on over to Patreon at The Casanova Show, where you'll be able to keep track of all my blog posts, articles, and video links of videos that I find, as well as my own personal videos that I will post on there, as well as some exclusive videos. And basically, I'm keeping track of this huge change that's happening on the earth. And also, I take time to speak about consciousness and where it is that I see all of us heading, because as many people know, I've always strived to stay out of the matrix, so the videos all stay along those lines. And the content, I'm sure you'll enjoy. So if you're like me and you believe there's huge changes happening on the earth that are going to affect all of us, then, come on to Patreon for as little as $1, and yeah. So as some of you may know, I've been censored quite a bit, but anyway, we do live videos on Patreon, take time to speak to people, find out where your head's at. If you want to support me and help me grow this, then I really do appreciate that. For as little as $1, you can head on over to Patreon. Just go to patreon.com and type in The Casanova Show, or click the link in the description below. Thanks guys, I love you lots.